New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to the High Vibe Hour here at the New Thought Media Network. I'm Rev Skip Jennings and I am so grateful because it's Gratitude Month. I'm an author, I'm a teacher, I'm a facilitator of retreats. I do all the stuff and I do it pretty good.
Yes, you do. I'm Reverend Julie Moret. I'm a spiritual teacher, inspirational speaker. I love our Fridays. I love them. So here we go.
Oh my goodness. I'm learning so much from you. And what I love about this is, like we always say, it's just like two friends getting together, having tea, having a conversation. This is the best
with really good skills.
Work.
Like I need to layer that in. It's like two friends hanging out, but you know, we've done our work.
We've done the work. We've done hours and hours. Have you ever really gone back into how many hours you have spent in spiritual studies to get to where you are today? Thousands,
hundreds of thousands. I don't know, but I have to show you something.
Sure. Yeah, I love it.
My friend Esme Leon, she's an awesome trainer. She got me this. I don't know. Can you see? Like
I can see it.
It looks like the Oompa Loompa, like an Oompa Loompa, or that girl that turned into the blueberry. But it's so cozy.
I love it. I love it. I love that what you shared on social media about you being in the mountains and hearing the rain behind you and seeing it. It brought me a sense of peace and calm. And I can't even imagine how it is to feel you are in that space right now.
I'm in it. And, you know, this is like a dream come true. And as I mentioned on my story, like for years, I lived in New York City. I lived in Los Angeles. I still live in Los Angeles. But I was so drawn to people that were in nature. And I found myself on Instagram, like just following anybody that had any nature around them. And so I'm thrilled that I'm spending a bunch of time in the mountains these days.
My goodness. So when you are here, when you are in the mountains, I'm saying here, like I'm there, because I guess I am there for you. What are the vibrations and the energy and what drops into your spirit? And I don't even know if you have words for it, because sometimes I'm in nature, I'm going, I don't have words for this. What's going on?
So I had a funny thing happen. I was in the mountains. I came back. I was at the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith on Sunday. And he goes over to hug me and he's like, "You feel really substantial," which, by the way, guys, not really something to say to a woman. Like, I don't think a woman wants to hear, like, "You feel substantial." But what he meant is like, no, just no.
Yeah.
Like really solid. And that's what happens when I spend more and more time in the mountains, in nature. I've been hiking in the mountains this week in snow with crampons and poles and the whole thing. And I feel like an oak tree. I feel so solid and grounded. And that's like a main thing that I feel like just being here. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's so powerful. So powerful.
Don't hug somebody and
say
feel substantial.
You know, I love this.
And then you're like spiritually substantial. I'm like, no.
This has become really probably one of the favorite parts of our show is the TNT, which is tea, having tea and catching up. And T stands for truth. So we really speak the truth of catching up. So I'm going to speak a little TNT with you, having some tea. So I got a new teapot here, and you can see all the florals and things that are happening here. It really feels really good. This week, I had to have an MRI. For the last year, I've been experiencing back pains and some. I've been energy. I don't want to call it pain. It's energy because it hasn't really debilitated me. I have had 2 previous back surgeries, a laminectomy and a discectomy. So I know what it feels like. So I went to the sports medicine doctor and said, this is something that I've been dealing with. And so we did the MRI, we did the x-rays, and they found out I have a degenerative disc syndrome, they want to call it, between L4 and L5 and S1, which literally there is no more disc there, which is, it brings me to this place of where I am in the truth of this all. When I'm such a physical being, and this is the work I do, and I teach yoga, I've been having to work with my own mental thinking because the ego wants to drop me into a place saying, your body's betraying you. Look at you, you're getting too old to do this. And I'm going, what are you talking about? I have to really have that self-talk to myself. And that's the true of this week. I've had this myriad of experiences, which has been very highs, very, very highs, because I'm teaching these incredible yoga classes and people are coming to me and saying, that was one of the best yoga classes I've ever taken. 3 people said that to me this week.
Wow. Can we just stop for a sec? Stop.
Yeah.
Take it in. It's so easy to mow over the loveliness. It's so easy to mow over the affirmations from the universe. So you had 3 people this week say it's one of the best yoga classes they've ever had. I just wanted to
thank you to catch me. But of course, me in my human incarnation, that's not where I go. I go to what's wrong with me. I go to, I'm going to get an MRI, or I'm sitting in. Have you ever had an MRI?
I have.
The claustrophobic feeling. And it's so interesting. This last round, I fell asleep. And they're like, are you okay in there?
Wow.
I'm just at peace. I'm at peace. I used a sound that was really loud. They said it's going to be loud. I'm going, nope. It's going to be in rhythm of my soul. So I use it as a meditation, and I fell asleep. And I went, they were like, you're the stillest person I've ever seen. And I'm going, because it was just a beautiful experience, yet still going through the challenges of this energy in my back.
Right. Okay. A couple things. First, for those listening, I think it's just such a great opportunity to stop and notice what I call them winks from the universe, or synchro destiny, when you have a way in which something outside of ourselves mirrors back. I'm with you. I gotcha. You're on the right track. You had that 3 times with people saying best yoga class ever. So it makes me want to stop, and I'm inviting others to just think in what happened this week? And it's so easy to say nothing, but what happened this week? Because we got to look for it. We got to find it. It's there. What is one positive thing that showed up this week? And then the other thing that came up around that is, so you shared about that. And then the other thing is, how are you growing? It's very easy to just keep moving and forget oh, I've changed. I used to get in that MRI thing and it would freak me out, but I fell asleep, so take a moment. Yeah. So there's growth there. So the invitation is in what ways am I different now than I was? Because we're changing. In what ways am I better? In what ways am I growing?
We are definitely growing. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. I love that take on it. And also recognizing that even in the midst of what is deemed to be loud, and the earth is so loud right now, the world is so loud right now, you can always find peace and comfort in the midst of the chaos, which in MRI can be chaos, but we don't have to be chaotic in it. So
that's practicing the presence. That is I can breathe right here. You practice the presence in this now moment, all is well. In this now moment. So practicing the presence. And then there was one other thing I wanted to share. And, we all know this. You take the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. What? Take the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. So you got good information. You got some intel. And now, everything's open. There's a million ways that you can regenerate, and you can grow, and you can fortify. And I was thinking of things I'll share offline. So there's it's just, there's a lot of opportunities. you know,
Absolutely.
diagnosis
All
and
right.
prognosis.
So we're moving forward. What about you? What has your week been like? What have you been doing besides being
So
in nature?
that's right. That's right. So
I
I
love it.
am really like on this kind of Taoist track right now. It's one of
Ooh.
the things that I love so much about being at the Agape International Spiritual Center is that it includes everybody, like every
Yeah.
background, every training. I'm thoroughly, utterly trained in, the teachings that we have at Agape, and there's always space for something new. So I have gone on big, like deep dives into shamanism, and right now I'm really called
Mm.
into Taoism, and it's about the way, like following the way of life, the flow of life. My cabin is on a river, so I'm like
Hey.
following that the way. And sometimes the river is really turbulent, sometimes it's low and you could like actually walk through it, sometimes it's overflowing. Like the river is the river, and how can I flow with it, you know? And so there's the Wandering Taoist. I mentioned it last week. I've been just reading it and loving it and so inspired to go deeper in all the trainings,
Mm.
because I think what inspires me so much about the spiritual life, the spiritual journey, is I like it thinking of it as an athlete. I think that's one of the reasons we hook up so well, is
Mhm.
because of your physical background, your athletic background, and my wanting to be an athlete. Like if I
Yeah.
weren't doing what I were doing, my dream would have been to be a runner, like professionally. Like that
Mm.
was my thing. And
Right.
so this is a way in which I get to be an athlete spiritually. And so,
Absolutely.
when you cultivate energy practices like Tai Chi, Qigong, when you practice Feng Shui, the art of placement, like all the things. And so I've been studying and practicing and really getting back into energy healing practices. And it's life
Mm.
feels juicy and compelling when I'm seeing on all levels, not just the physical material.
The other thing that came out of this time spending with this incredible, sports medicine doctor, and we're just really having a nice chat about everything about life and understanding that most runners go through this issue. Because
Mhm.
I've been a runner all my life. I ran sprints in high school. I ran, this is my thing.
Yeah.
Running has always been a way of fitness, even if it was running, intervals on a treadmill. This is absolutely part of the process of a lot of runners go through this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so you're speaking of going with the flow of what it is. This is part of the flow. This is part
Mhm.
of that understanding. Oh, well, you're right where you are supposed to be. And the other thing about the flow, the Tao that you're talking about, is being here in the moment right now, where we can do something I call the oath of wellness, which I've been teaching for about 20 years. And the
Uh-huh.
oath of wellness is simply this: I will meet my body right where I am. I will love my body right where I am. I am whole and complete from the start. I will allow healing to begin now. I will not accept judgments from others. I will not judge myself or accept judgments from others. And I wrote that and I practiced it before all my yoga classes and all the retreats. And we get to do it like an affirmation and realize what you're talking about is, can we meet our physical fitness right where we are? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're not running anymore, brother man, you ain't running no more. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing these really great power walks now, or I'm doing more yoga. That has been this deep awakening. So speaking of understanding, right where you are is where you're supposed to be, is a
Right.
huge, incredible practice.
Yes. Request. Would you put that up on your socials so we all get to see it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely, for sure. And
Oh,
it's in the new book. It's a part of the Transform in 10 steps for thriving at 50 and beyond. See, here's the thing. I love how God shows up
coming out when?
in my
Coming
life.
out when?
It's well, we're now in the final conclusion of editing at the publisher. So we're looking possibly early next year. We know it's going to be next year. Early next year, I'm letting God say. But I love this. This is a practical application to what I'm teaching in this new chapter of my life. It's like, what is your transformation like now?
Yeah.
versus what it was, because 20 years ago I was doing handstands, flipping back into chaturanga, into upward facing dog, back into the handstands. That ain't me
Yeah.
not right now. So what do I do? Like this morning, I did a little gentle yoga. It was so
Mhm.
beautiful. That's what my body, where I would love my body right where I am. So, but I wasn't by a river, yo.
Can I tell you something? I used to do power yoga with
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it Brian Pest.
Yes. Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
do hardcore power yoga. And my favorite kind of yoga these days is I call it roly-poly yoga, where you basically like lay on the ground, kind of like my
I love
cat,
it.
like this.
I love it. It's so awesome. And before we drop into the show, I just want to say I'm noticing both of us were standing today.
Yes, we
The
are.
best thing that I could do for my life right now is to have a standing desk. I have one
Mm,
here in my house and one in my office in North Hollywood.
love it.
It's just like it's the greatest thing, and you have one too, sis.
Yeah, yeah. Look at us. Let's go.
Uh, so I love this idea you sent, and you said I want to talk about prepping.
Mhm.
Preparing the pumpkin pie, preparing the energy, getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're about to jump into Thanksgiving, but also you invited me to see how important it is to prep the energy and the mind and the spirit mentally going into what could be very challenging. Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I thought there's something that Michael Beckwith says that just rings in my head nonstop. Whatever you want to experience when you're going someplace, be
Mm-hmm.
it, bring it. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the reason that lands so much for me is because I'm kind of like a chameleon. Like I can go into an environment and sort of morph to it. And I
Mm.
tend to respond to an energy rather than be the one to like enter a room and change it. But when I hear that, it's like it makes all the sense in the world to be conscious and decide, because the way that that works, Marianne Lockhart's here, the way that that works um, is that I'm not at the whim of life, you know? I'm deciding how I want to be, what I want to experience ahead of time. And so in all areas. So I really love the idea of us discussing like holidays are upon us. How do
Yeah.
we want them to go physically, emotionally, spiritually? And so on the physical level, I'm hosting this year and we're having a pretty big gathering. And so normally like I just do everything, you know, like
Yeah.
if you want something done, do it yourself. Like I just do
Mm.
everything. And I started thinking and I was like, you know what? I have a genius idea. So I sent a message to my son and one of his cousins. They're teens now. And I said, all
Yeah.
right, you guys are going to make 2 pies. So they're going to be here and they can pick which pies they make. It will be a phenomenally bonding experience. But that's something that like I don't have to do it all, you know, like I can delegate some. And I think it's a great delegation. Like I'm
Ooh.
excited
Okay.
about
I got the feels around that because I am
it.
such a control person. If I'm
Yes.
hosting, I want to control the food. This is my learning edge. It's like, listen, I better have tasted like 4 or 5 of your pies before you bring a pie to something I'm hosting, so I know what I'm getting. So that I know. I had
Yes.
the feels while you were talking. I'm going, oh, okay, this is a learning time for Rev Skip here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give someone the thing of the pies.
Well, okay, so there is some control because I'm still gonna
Okay.
make one. So I'm gonna know we
Right.
got one. But
Yay.
I
I love it.
this morning it was like such an awakened feeling. It was like
Yeah.
on every level, because I think a lot of
Mm,
times when I host, I just want
yeah.
people to come and then everything is served. But there is something that happens when people feel that they're participating. You know, there is a pleasure in
Mm,
somebody walking in if they want to participate and saying, chop this. And so that's kind
wow.
of my growing edge as a hostess
I love
and in
that.
life, because I tend to, in life, do it all myself. So,
I love that.
right. So
Wow, that's a
kids,
really good experience. A
yeah.
very good experience. We
So
did
Marianne's making
something.
pies. What kind of pies do you make, Marianne?
Yeah. What pies are you making, Marianne? You
So
have to drop it in the yeah, drop it into the feed. What pies are you making?
yeah. So so that's one thing. And then on the physical front,
Yeah.
um, like I like taking a moment and thinking like Thanksgiving is coming up, right? We got 2 weeks. So what
Mhm.
do I want Thanksgiving week to look like? A lot of times,
Mm.
if I was traveling, maybe my regular workout routine wouldn't be as easily available, or foods aren't easily available. So like make a plan right now. What's it going to be and what
Mm.
can you do and what works for you? So pecan, sweet potato, apple. All right.
Oh, you
Our
just making
language.
all the pies. All she's making all Rev, she's making all the pies. Marianne,
Yes,
go ahead,
yes,
sister.
yes. That's
Go
awesome.
ahead. It's
Um,
so interesting. We're feeding the unhoused on Sunday. It's
Beautiful.
We're taking food out to Alexander Park in North Hollywood.
Who's
So if
we?
y'all want to come out, this is
Who's
our North
we?
Hollywood Church of Religious Science, Oneness Center for Spiritual Living. We're going out to the unhoused, and we're serving their wonderful feasts. We're going to have a feast,
Beautiful.
and I was deemed to cook the turkey. And it's so interesting
Wow.
because I have been really not eating the
Yeah.
meat. I've been like on this process of eating more plant based, less meats, and all that. And I'm going okay. And so I'm in this space of, because I'm the type of person, when I cook the turkey, I always got to taste a little bit of it. And understanding that, what is this lesson that you're, God, I've been called to make the turkey as the assistant minister, and Dr. Sydney, our senior minister, is making the ham. I much rather make a turkey than a ham. I know there is a lesson here that I am choosing to go through with making this turkey. So I'm open and willing to learn. What is this
Okay.
lesson? I'm open and willing to learn. And I believe it will be very, very, interesting for me to make a turkey as I am diving deeper into plant-based living.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I
Awesome.
can't wait to hear afterwards to find
I
out
know,
what
right?
you
I'm
do.
checking
Yeah.
afterwards. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go back to the ways that we can
Yep.
physically prep for the
Yeah.
holidays. And one of them is to get your game plan. Like what will
Sure.
we do to work out? This year I'm going to be right by my gym. So I will get to the gym every day. Like that one's easy for me, but also recommending an accountability buddy if that's something that
Yeah.
works for you. Somebody like I text usually the night before and say, okay, I'm going to work out at this time tomorrow, or this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. And then, you check in. So I love the idea of deciding physically what's the game plan.
Mm,
And if you're not
yeah.
near a gym or something like that, it's very easy with our phones these days. I do Melissa Wood's Health. I love her.
Yeah,
And
she's
I can
good.
do her core or her arms or, any of her stuff anywhere I go. And here's the thing, because a lot of
Mm,
times my old attitude was like, oh, well, if I can't do a full workout, it's not worth it. But this week has been a busy week for me. And I literally got on and did an 11-minute core workout. And I thought,
yeah.
oh, that's going to, suck. Like that's not enough. But it felt good. And I was
Oh,
proud of
yeah, it
myself.
is.
And
That's a
so,
misnomer. That's a misnomer that we want to believe that more is better. Actually, it is 10 minutes of a walk, 10 minutes of breathing, 10 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of stretching, whatever you can do. You put it in what we call the fitness bank account. And we
mhm,
talk about this as spiritual bank account. The
I
fitness
love it.
bank account is the same exact thing. Any type of movement that you do is filling up your bank account. So when your body is actually pulling from that, in times of stress, in
Mhm.
times of when you're not working out, your body really has relied on the work that you've done before. So there might be a day that you haven't worked out, but maybe 2 days ago you did work out. Your body's still responding to the workout you did, and it doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter how, it's just you move. I love that.
And you know what else you're reminding me of? The
What's that?
last couple of weeks when I need to go someplace, if it's from one
Mm,
end of the house to the other, or when I'm in LA, if it's in the apartment, going downstairs to the front area, I'm like moving with a purpose. And
Yeah.
even that, like a 2-minute walk, it's a difference maker. And I like that. It goes into my physical
Powerful.
bank account. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so
So
powerful.
we're taking a look at how we can take care of ourselves physically.
Right.
And this one is kind of linked up with maybe creating some new habits or rituals with your family, because on the day of, maybe you invite everybody to go for a brisk walk after dinner. Maybe everybody goes for
Mhm.
a brisk walk before dinner. And what I have found over the years is how available people are, like
Yeah.
somebody's got to break the habit, like we have one part of
Mm.
my family when I go and everybody just sits like ducks and eats, and that's all they do. They don't move. But on other sides of my family, we like, we are when I'm with my mom or my dad, it is grandparents, kids, and grandkids in the gym, all of us, which is mind-blowing, incredible.
Mhm.
And we all go
Mhm.
for walks. So to maybe see what could be a new practice that you invite folks to join in, right?
Beautiful. That's great.
Yeah. So I'm loving that physically. And then some other things are to, like, we'll talk about food. Okay.
Yeah.
So what your plate looks like, and some ways that I prep before a huge meal would be, like, for me, I'll have my protein shake. Like, I'll make sure my protein's on point before I go. So I make
Mhm.
sure I might do a protein shake. I might do something with fiber to help fill me up. Make sure I have plenty of water. I go by half my body weight in ounces of water every day. I start by chugging 20 ounces first thing in the morning, and then I sip slowly throughout the day. That helps with satiety and clear
Mm.
thinking and all the things. So make sure your hydration's on point. And then
Yeah.
with the actual food, this I started doing mostly because I'm vegan. And so I would just bring food that I want at an event. And, most people at this point, like, if I'm going to somebody's house, they know me well enough that they're not offended. But, like, you bring your own crudités, or, cruciferous veggies, or whatever it is, with
Mhm.
a dip that works for you. Things that taste good, but also, like, fill up on some of the healthy stuff. Like last night's perfect example. I went out to dinner. It was a very fancy restaurant, and I wanted to have the things. Like, I was definitely going to have some dessert, and I was definitely going to have a yummy dinner. But then I also ordered, which is new for me, I ordered broccolini steamed. Instead of getting it the way that they
Mm.
prep, which would be like soaked in oils, I got it just steamed. So I ended up eating half the meal because I ate a big thing of broccoli, and then I was able to have the other half this morning for breakfast.
Wow.
But these things, like, really work. And it's just like what you said with the physical bank account. It's the same with, like, our food or our health bank account, to still be able to
Mm.
do the things, have the things, enjoy the things. But I also pumped up on a really healthy veggie last night, that wasn't dripping in oil. And I've never done that at a fancy restaurant before. I always get, like, the veggie the way that they make it. And so this was like, okay, all right, growing, evolving here. So
Mm.
those are some options to bring some, so you have healthy appetizers, things that taste yummy. So you're filling up on some of the things. And with the actual plate, um, make sure that, like, I like half my plate to be some kind of veggies, right? You can do your dark leafy greens, you can, whatever it is, but just notice portion sizes. And you may want to weigh in on any of that. Is there
Yeah,
something?
no, I have a whole thing, but we're gonna have to take a break. So let's go on the commercial. When I come back, I'm gonna talk about teas that you can
Yeah.
help to really calm your nerves throughout the
Yes.
thing. But then, finish up your thought about so we can go to
Yeah, no, I
commercial
just
there.
I just really like being conscious. That's my
Yeah.
offering today, is instead of showing up and just seeing what happens, and if it's good, great, and if it's scary or unpleasant or whatever, blah, right? Like, to decide ahead of time. That's my thing. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. We're going to go for a small little break here to tell you what's happening here at the New Thought Media Network. Stay tuned. We have more conversation on how we're preparing for the holiday season. Here we go.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Let's say hello. Welcome back. We are here having a great, rich conversation about preparing for the holiday. And let's see, Byron's on with us. Hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Great that you're here. And and Marianne says hi. I love when people know each other. I love it.
Community.
One thing I learned earlier on in this whole journey is that we can either prepare and stay healthy and not having to react to a trauma that we're in. So part of this preparation for me has been, what am I putting into my body? What am I eating? Much like you were talking about, preparing to go to a holiday feast or having maybe something that you wouldn't have. What are you doing leading up to that time? And because I've gone into this tea vortex. I have this brand new book. It's called Healing Herb Teas. There are 101 different recipes for healing your body through teas, and they work. So I want to share with you some healing teas that you can do to keep your body pretty much centered as you're going into this holiday season. Number one, everyone knows about chamomile tea, which I love about chamomile tea. I don't take it at night. I take it throughout the day, especially when my day is like, I'll have just a little bit of chamomile tea, and it's great for soothing, a natural soothing remedy. It's quite really relaxing for the mind and relaxing for your body. Why is that so important? Because we're on this hamster wheel and we're running. Sometimes we just need to have a midday stop, breath, relax. And part of this is keeping your mind centered before you enter into something that might not be so centering, but you can always prepare. The other tea that I've been tapping into is lavender tea. And lavender tea is really important because lavender actually cleanses energetically. Lavender really centers you and allows you to, just even if you take lavender and you breathe in, much like sage, you can get the properties of inhaling some of the herbs and some of the energy. And lavender tea is great for your nervous system as well. And part of this is preparing to go into this experience of the holidays that can be very challenging. Another tea, and I haven't done this yet, but a friend of mine told me about lemon balm. Have you had lemon balm tea?
Yeah, absolutely.
It calms anything that you're actually might be experiencing stress from a trauma experience. Lemon balm is your jam. So like for me right now, having this, thing, I was in a yoga class and I overextended in a back bend, which caused this energy in my back. Lemon balm would have been perfect for that. In fact, I'm going to get some lemon balm today to really continue to heal that. But it soothes and it shifts your mood from trauma to peaceful energy. So teas are a way that we can really prepare before we drop into this experience of Thanksgiving. And the other thing too is, I say this, I don't want people have a tendency to become carboholics. Carboholics is when you're eating carbs. We give ourselves permission to eat carbs. Carbs are great. Listen, carbs is our main source of energy. Carbohydrates is our energy source. What happens with carbs is that when you overeat carbs, it actually stores as fat and sugar in your body. So we have to really balance the amount of carbs that we take on before we get to a holiday season or a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, say more. How do we do that?
So simply this, that there are two types of carbs. And listen, there's two types of carbs you can look at. The really good carb are things that are very light. They are not starchy. And then like starching would be your stuffings, would be your macaroni and cheese. A sweet
Mhm.
potato is a great source of carb, and its nutritional value of a sweet potato
Mhm.
is so much higher than it is, say, mashed potatoes.
Mhm.
Rice and grains are, we have to really watch what type of rice we put into our body. White rice is poison. It has been bleached, has been processed, but a wild rice is very
Uh-huh.
nutritional in value. So watching the grains that we're putting into our bodies, a lot of times that we love to have a whole plate of mashed potatoes, of stuffing, of all these things, of macaroni and cheese. I'm trying to think of all the other carbohydrates that we have. We also apply turkey to that, which is tryptophan, which is a tryptophan poisoning, which causes us to lay out on the couch like you were talking about and falling asleep.
Yeah.
What you can do with that is, as soon as you eat, most people don't want to do it, but you go for a nice brisk walk around the block. Maybe before you
Yeah.
eat dessert, you eat, take a break, get some water, say, I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk, come back, and then have dessert later on. A lot of times we eat food and then we have dessert. There's no room to move.
Right. I love that. And I think that's something like you can really get other folks involved in. Like, let's take a
Mhm.
walk, right?
Yeah,
Move around a
absolutely.
little bit. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I just want to say
Go
on
ahead.
the essential oil front, we did this last week, but if you
Yeah.
could take the lavender, you could take whatever tea you're using as in an
Mhm.
essential oil way, put one drop in the palm of your hand,
I smell it.
breathe it in 10 times, and it goes right into like all this nervous system, the olfactory, everything. And it's a great way to get those properties of whatever we were talking about frankincense, but you could do it. I've been doing it with lavender this week. So, and
I've
it's
been
like
doing
an
it with lavender as
instant hit.
well.
Yeah.
The reason why I do it with lavender a lot, and also I have lavender soaps in my shower. I take a lavender bath because I work with clients who are dealing with energy.
Mhm.
And when we're, as a Reiki master and a Reiki healing practitioner, when we are in the midst of the Reiki healing, the Reiki moves through us from our root chakra, out of us, from the heart into the hands, into our client. And then there's a reference that comes back, that travels back through us. So if you're around negative energy, maybe around your family or whatever, I'm not calling your family negative, anybody listening to this, but we have some challenges. If you take a lavender shower while you're visiting, or lavender bath, it calms you.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Oh, and then let's do this. So after an event, and by the way, if you have lovely people that you spend the holidays with and it's all love and joy
Yay.
and peace and light, yay. Um, whenever there are events that are stressful or produce some anxiety, the suggestion is this is about preparedness. Have Epsom
Mhm.
salts in your home or in your
Yeah.
environment. Take an Epsom salt bath when you're done, and it helps cleanse the system out also. And I noticed Marianne said she did twice baked sweet potatoes. I wanted to share, I was hosting people like 2 weeks ago. They were staying at my
Yeah.
house, and we got back to the house really late at night. Nobody was that hungry, but I knew we wanted to have some food. I
Yeah.
made a split pea soup, super easy, super, super healthy. And then we had some sweet potatoes, and I like purple yams, and I cooked them so long that they
Mm,
caramelized. And I got to tell you, it was like dessert. It was like
yeah.
dessert. It was so
Were they
satisfying.
crispy and caramelized?
Yeah,
Crispy and
yeah, yeah.
caramelized as
Yeah,
well.
like when you
Okay.
really
And
cook them.
were they the Japanese purple?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, those are the best. Those are the
Right.
absolute best. Y'all find and look for. You can go to your farmer's market, or you can go to Whole Foods, or any place you shop, and ask for the purple Japanese yams. They're the most delicious thing. I have not cooked them as long as you said. I normally do a mashed potato, but I'm going to try that, Rev. I'm going to try
Yeah, I
cooking.
like them.
How long did you cook them for?
Can I tell you something? Like an hour and maybe 15 minutes at
Oh,
450.
love that. Oh,
475. Like, I get them
bam.
really caramely, and then it tastes almost like candy. By the way, we got a message here. I've always felt that lavender is one of the most useful essential oils. So many applications, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Is that Diego? That
No.
is Diego, right?
Oh,
Who's
that
that?
is?
I think that's Diego. I think, Diego,
Okay.
you're sharing some great insights. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So let's continue to talk about the healing as we're moving into this time, knowing that we teach this in our New Thought teachings. We teach this all the time, that everything's energy, everything's a vibration. Everything's
Yes.
energy, everything's a vibration. And we have something that's within us that some people know about, some people don't. So if you've heard this before, I teach this quite a bit. It's called the chakra system. And the chakra means wheel of energy. It's literally 7 chakras in the main chakra system, but there are also little tiny chakras in our hands, little wheels of energy. They remind me of meridians from in the body. We have pressure points, different things but everything's energy. And we look at how we can prepare to go into a space that might feel uncomfortable. We want to turn to what we call the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the area that's right below the heart, but above the belly button. If I can step back and just feel this energy right here, this is your solar plexus energy. And the solar plexus is all about your personal power, your will to move forward. Is also about your courage. And if you're looking to gain courage, a great way to do this, I'm going to step back again, is just to do a little tapping on the solar plexus. And if we do a little tapping in that area right there and breathe and envision the color yellow, and we just breathe into that area, we will feel this energy and vibration and courage to move forward. It's a simple way that we can do it in the car before you get out of the car, before you go to that dinner that you might not want to go to, or that you're going to go to and you know that you want to hold your peace and you want to hold your power. The other chakra that we want to tap into is the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, at the groin area, and that is the color red. And we want to imagine that we are connecting and we have the root of our spine. We can imagine that red wheel of energy that's circling in the base of the spine. And we can imagine roots that are coming out of the ground into that area of your root chakra. What this represents is I am safe and grounded by the universe. I am safe and grounded by the earth. I am protected. I am absolutely ready to move forward. I'm centered. And that's where we really need to move into a place that might be challenging, is our solar plexus and our root chakra.
Yes. I think I have, hang on a sec. I have a diagram. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
These are
That's
the
it.
chakra
That's it.
centers. So you've been speaking about the root, which is at the bottom, and then
At the bottom,
the sense
the
of
solar plexus,
personal power is right
the yellow
here.
chakra right there. Yes, absolutely. And so part of that work is the preparation, and this work can actually start this week. When you know that, because we're already ready to go into, we already got our mindsets. We're going to go on to these incredible flights. I'm taking a flight from LA to Pennsylvania. I'm already doing my root chakra work, and that's on Sunday the 23rd. Because sometimes we're in fear. Am I going to make it? Am I going to get there? We can stand in the root and the groundedness that we are supported and we are guided. And as I'm speaking right here, a hummingbird is outside my window. Hummingbird is an indication everything's going to be okay. Hummingbird is God speaking to you. So we can do that work right now. Reb, you're going to say something?
No, I just love that you noticed it. And that's what we keep talking about, is there is guidance all around us all the time. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but when you start to notice, like a lot of people wouldn't have even clocked hummingbird, or they would have been, oh yeah, there's a hummingbird. But that's a wink from the universe saying, oh, I like what you're saying. Yes, and more, please. Right? So let's dive into the emotional and spiritual ways we can really take good care of ourselves for the holidays.
Absolutely.
And we're focusing specifically on holidays, but go ahead.
Can I bring in one other thing? This is preparation for going in. A lot of us need to prepare ourselves for forgiveness. There are
Mm.
situations that you're going to sit down at the table. You might have people that have not voted the way you voted. You might have some energy of years past. You might have a cousin, an uncle, maybe even your mother, your father, that just you sit down and you know that healing has to take place. And you in this journey, you're recognizing, okay, someone's gonna have to take the first step, and it's probably you. One of the
Mm.
things I've learned early on into this practice, the only thing that's missing in my relationships is what I'm not willing to bring. The only thing that's missing on this
Wait,
earth
what?
is
Say
what
that
I
again. Say that again.
the only thing that's missing in this relationship, in relationships, is what I'm not willing to bring.
Oof.
The the only thing that's missing on this earth is what I'm not willing to bring.
Mic drop. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how do we get into that place of, oh, I am the carrier of love. I'm here to bring love. I'm here to sit down at the table with Uncle Shorty, and we all have Uncle Shorty and Uncle Pookie that just, you just want to go. Would you just stop it? Would you put down the liquor and just stop it? That's
Oh.
great. I mean, that's just a human part, recognizing within there's a greater calling of the love. That's when we tap into the heart chakra. The heart chakra is in the middle of the chest. It's green. It's a wheel of energy. And in the heart chakra, there is love, compassion, kindness. Thank you for the chart. Thank you for the support of the chart. Kindness, oneness. There's the beginning of the upper chakra system, which is the divine chakra system, where we can ground ourselves on this earth to do what we need to do. There's a higher energy level that creates everything. And that comes from the heart space. So we're grounded on this earth to move forward into the space, but where are we going to make a difference is through the heart chakra. That's preparation. That's the energetic preparation and spiritual preparation that we can do to prepare for these beautiful times of learning.
Beautiful. So let's go a little bit
Okay.
deeper. We'll do a little recap and a little deeper. So
Mhm.
physically, think right now, like, how do I want to gear up for holidays that could potentially have a lot of foods that I don't normally eat? And what works? Like, think already, what kind of workouts, when will I get them in? If it's not perfect,
Yeah.
do I have something on my phone that I can do 10 minutes or 15 minutes? And even if I'm just moving around, going into the grocery store, going out, can I move with
Mm.
purpose, get a little more action happening? Do you want to work with an accountability buddy where you just text each other and check in and see how you're doing? Do you want to make some decisions about the kind of foods and making sure, like, if you're going to have the things, and I kind of hope that you do, because when there are special times, for myself, if I don't have a little bit of pecan pie, I will keep having all kinds of healthy things that I'm trying to replace it with that won't satisfy. So, like,
Yeah.
better to have what I want
Mm.
than have like 15 of what I don't want trying to satisfy. So what are the ways that you'll the checks and balances, hydrating, making sure you get a lot of the veggies in, bring what you want. So, there's something there
Yeah.
that's going to be like the healthy component.
I have a
Offer.
question for you, though.
Sure.
I have a question. Do you have a plant-based, non-sugary pecan pie recipe? Because everyone that
No.
I've done has been like, "Oh, this doesn't taste so good. What am I trying to do with this agave? This doesn't taste like Mama's sweet potato or Mama's
Can I
pecan
tell you
pie."
something? There,
Yes.
I pick and choose my battles. So when
Okay.
it comes to pecan pie, that is something my mom made every year growing up.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was
Yeah.
my favorite holiday. I have
Right.
her recipe. The ingredients are horrific, but it's delicious. And so I haven't done a pivot on that, and I'm not going
Okay.
to. It's just
I
I know
love
now
you. This is
to.
so real.
Yeah, no, I know, because you know what, Skip, when I try to go like healthy, when something has a big emotional anchor, this is deep. Pecan pie has a big emotional anchor because that's my childhood. That's like before my parents divorced. That's like, it's got an emotional anchor. So if I do, something else that's super healthy, which I do in day-to-day life, but on that kind of event, it won't work. And then I'll end up eating like so many other things trying to satisfy it. So for me, it's better just have the pecan pie, make sure everybody else has some, take some home so it doesn't live in the house, and then we move on.
I'm like that with my mom's macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
I'm like
yeah.
that with macaroni and cheese. I just, okay, listen, I can't, because I try to substitute. And my mom's macaroni and cheese, there's many cheeses that go in there, and I tried to find the substitute. It is not the same, and it's just it's a vegan mess. It's a
Yes.
vegan mess. The other thing I will not compromise, I rather go without. Tofurkey is nasty.
Oh, see, I'll
Tofurkey
do
is
that.
nasty. You do
I
tofurkey?
I will, because I like the texture. And now
Nasty.
there's a brand called Meaty, Meati, Meaty, Meati.
Okay.
They have it's called crispy chicken, and it's made from like mushroom something something mycelium, but it's
Mm.
really satisfying. So this year I'm gonna have that crispy chicken. Yeah, see, Marianne gets it. Like, that's a recipe that's been handed down for years. So,
Mhm.
yeah, because I like the texture, and there
Mm.
isn't like, I'm just not going to have real turkey, but my
Right.
plate would be not work for me if I didn't have that meaty texture. So
Got
anyway,
it.
okay, I know we're going to be
Yeah.
wrapping up soon. We'll have to
Mhm.
continue this next week. I don't know where
Yes,
these hours
absolutely.
go.
They just slide by so quickly, don't they?
Okay, so we're physically prepping. How am I
Okay.
gonna take care of myself? What works?
Yep.
What do I want my plate to look like? How am I gonna move my body? How emotionally am I gonna take care of my nervous system, right? Whether it's a drop of lavender oil in the hands that you breathe in, or you have it as a tea. And there's something to be said for the consciousness, the intention. When I put that drop in my
Mm.
hands, my intention is
Yep.
peace and calm. That's a big part of it. So you want to, it's thought plus emotion equals creation. When we have a thought and we load it up with the feeling tone, that's creative. So
Yeah.
to be conscious in advance, what do we want to create, and what do you want to bring? Like, what is the energy? Because a lot of times I would go to events and I would be invisible. I would just kind of sit there or not talk. But instead, it's like, well, what do I want to bring? And
Yeah.
there are a couple of things that have landed well for me. One is that Taoist philosophy of filial piety, where we have respect for, whether it's your parents, because one provided a sperm, one provided an egg. And so at the most
Right.
basic level, it's appreciation and respect. And what, so what is it that works for you? That works really well for me. What is it that works that can allow you to be in an environment and be at peace with ourselves? And
Mm.
these are great things to ponder. These are really powerful. And I know we're going to do takeaways soon. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we layer that in of like,
I think it's great.
consciousness to me is like the subtitle for today, or the headline
Absolutely.
to
Is that
make
your
choices
takeaway?
decide. My takeaway
Yeah.
is,
What's your takeaway for
yeah,
today?
yeah. My takeaway is to not be at the whim of social gatherings, to make choices in advance, to make choices about how I'm going to take care of my physical body, my emotional self, and
Mm.
and how will I be of service? How will I show up? Because that survival brain is fight,
Yeah.
flight, freeze, or appease. I can freeze, so my physical presence can be in a place, but I'm
Yeah.
gone. So my takeaway is, well, how I'm going to be present, and if I'm going to be present, what do I want to offer?
Mm.
Yeah.
Powerful. Powerful. My takeaway is very similar. You just, that's it. That's it. Is I can be prepared to go into any situation and understand preparation is key. This is what we talk about in transformation. Is not when you're in the midst of the trauma. It is what are you doing? And I was reading this statement again by Buddha. Pain is inevitable. Trauma is or suffering is optional. So we might go into a place that feels painful, but it doesn't have to be. And the suffering through it is optional. It is all about the preparation. It is all about preparation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is powerful, powerful stuff. Getting ready for this holiday. Powerful,
Yeah.
powerful.
I
Oh
love
my
it. I
God.
love being with you all. These Fridays are so fun.
I know, it's so good. Hey, Rev, you've been doing some great things on social media. I've been following you. I actually repost your stuff on the on my stories because they're so powerful. Where can people find you on social media?
The best place is Rev Julie Moret on Instagram. I post when I'm about to teach or speak or whatever I'm going to do. And you can also get on my mailing list. I say this every week. I send like one email a year, but when I have something big coming up, I'll send out an email if there's a big class or something. So that's a great way to be in touch. And that's juliemoret.com.
Absolutely.
How about
And
you?
on Instagram, I am Rev Skip Jennings on all the Instagram things and the Facebook things and the Tick and the Talk. And I still have not been brought back to go to TikTok again, but I'm still on it every once in a while. You can follow some last minute, 3-minute or 30-second videos. And, Reverend Julie, I want to say you have inspired me to up my game for Instagram. So I've been posting every day, pretty much every day, Monday through Fridays. Just trying to post something inspiring, let you know what's going on. Also, go to my website, which is skipjennings.com. You can find out more information about all the things that I'm doing, all the places that I'm at. I'm redesigning my clothing line, which this is it right here. It's called the Awake Shop. This is part of the Love. So great for Christmas presents. So get your Christmas present. And also going to Bali, and we still have room for 8 more people. So join us in Bali. More information at skipjennings.com. That's going to be in March 14th through the 27th. And we are now, I want to share this with you. You might want to come with us. For 2027, we're thinking about going to Cambodia to be of service to the people in Cambodia. So I'm talking to David Alt, and we're going to start having a conversation about how we can go to Cambodia and make a difference on the planet. So spiritual trips are happening, y'all, all around us, and stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff that's going on here. What are you grateful for? Let's end with a little gratitude. What are you grateful for?
I'm really grateful that we're getting together like this. It feels very beneficial. Like for myself, for those tuning in, it feels like a good thing. So I'm grateful for you and for our time together. How about you?
I am grateful for you. I was going to say that again. We're in the same mindset today. I'm grateful for our time together, this show, and everyone who just tunes in every single week. It's a powerful time. And also, I think this is a special service for Agape this Sunday, right? For their anniversary. And you're going to be there, right? So I'm grateful for 39 years of Agape International Spiritual Center. Is that true?
Yeah. 39.
So then next year it's going to be 40, but that, so I might swing around after serving the unhoused and get there for the end of service for Agape. I'm just going to try to work it in, see if we can do it. So, but if not, I'll be online.
Human Garage is doing the meditation at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So you'll want to be plugged in. They're really doing some pretty cutting edge work. So that's this Sunday at 11 a.m. Yeah. I'll send you, take a look at them on Instagram. They have some great practices.
Please. That is so awesome. Oh, yeah. Powerful stuff in this world. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so, so grateful for you. And remember, transformation is always a choice. You chose today because you tuned into our show. We love you. Until next week, peace and blessings.